Hi folks. Well, the target of this video is going to be 922R compliance. It's actually going to be titled Understanding 922R Compliance. What is it? Well, 922R compliance is actually an import parts law that affects several imported rifles. And most certainly it actually affects the AK-47, which is the target of this video series. The AK-47 has a total of 16 components on the rifle, and out of that 16, 6 have to be American made in order to be legal in the United States. Okay, there are several websites that you can go to. You can look at this one here that's right above my head here. You can see that one. Go to that website. That one's really good. And then I found another one just today that goes into a little more detail, and you can see that annotation right here. These rifles are really good rifles and everything, but you definitely want to follow the rules and follow the laws to keep yourself out of trouble. Now I'm going to go through the list so that you guys get an idea of what is comprised on this list. And that list is actually a list of things like frames and receivers, barrels, barrel extensions, muzzle or mounting blocks, muzzle attachments, bolts, bolt carriers, operating rods, gas pistons, trigger housings, triggers, hammers, sears, disconnectors, buttstocks, pistol grips, forearms and handguards, magazine bodies, and followers. Okay, well, that's a mouthful. That's a lot of information to digest, I understand. So we're going to digest it here, and I'm going to point it out. Okay, what are they talking about? Number one on the list was frames and receivers, receiver castings, forgings, and stampings. Okay, on this particular gun, that right there is going to be your receiver. Your forging, that right there is going to be, that's your actual receiver, the main part of the barrel, the main part of the gun. The barrel, of course, is self-explanatory. You can see the barrel right there. Muzzle extensions, well, this particular rifle doesn't have them, so we're not going to issue muzzle extensions. Mounting blocks, trunnions. This right here is your trunnion. That's your front trunnion. There's also a rear one where your rear stock mounts onto. Let's see, muzzle attachments. That right there is a muzzle attachment. That's a slant brake, and of course, AK-74 brakes look a little bit different. There's several different ones out there. Another one is bolts. This right here is going to be your bolt carrier and piston assembly. There's your bolt. That's what they're referring to as far as bolt carriers. Operating rods. Well, this thing doesn't really have operating rods, but it does have a gas piston, which is right there. Trigger housings. That's your trigger housing right there. What else? Triggers. This one here's got a 3-part trigger. This is a Tapco G2. Counts as 3 compliance parts. And the triggers, that actually accounts for a trigger, a sear, or a disconnector, and a hammer. That's what those components look like. Buttstocks, of course, is self-explanatory. There's your buttstock there. Alright, what else? Pistol grips, self-explanatory. That's what the pistol grip looks like. Forearms, we're not going to go into any detail with that. Magazine bodies, well, I showed that to you there. That's the magazine, body, follower, and floor plate. Counts as 3 parts. Okay, now that you know what all these parts consist of, this particular rifle actually has the rifle itself. I've made sure that the rifle by itself has the correct number of, or the full complement of compliance parts. Now, certain parts of this rifle has to be American made, and in this case, it's got an American made buttstock from Ironwood Designs. It's also got an American made flash hider right there from Tapco. It's got a Tapco G2 trigger group, counts as 3 parts. So right there we're looking at 5 components. This thing also has an American-made gas piston. So that makes a total of 6 components that the rifle itself has. That way I keep my full compliance, and I don't have to worry about whether or not I change out my magazine or not. Now, also, speaking on the magazine, and I've went into this on other details or other videos, this is a Tapco 3-part magazine. You can see mag body, the follower, and the floor plate. That makes up 3 components. Now, the question arose a while back, or actually I got it today, that let's say that you've got the rifle, you buy it, and the only compliance part in the rifle itself is these 3 items right here. But you've also got an American-made magazine set, which counts as 3 parts. So if you've got 3 parts for the magazine and 3 parts for the rifle, then technically you are in compliance. You've got the correct number of components necessary. Well, if you take the rifle to the range and you remove the magazine, then you are actually, from what I understand, you're not obligated to have the 3 parts of the magazine. So the rifle is legal with 3 components. But if somebody comes along, let's say they throw in a Bulgarian magazine, now you're out of compliance again. So just so that you can always be sure that you're covered, make sure that the rifle itself, and this is just my own personal preference, you don't have to. You can eke by with having just a trigger group and an American-made magazine, and that's perfectly fine. But it's just you really run a risk if somebody happens to drop another magazine in that thing. Now, you have to understand the chances of getting caught with this is probably next to nil, if any at all. But in the rare instances somebody does question it, you want to be able to pull your rifle apart and say this, this, and this, and this has been in compliance, and be able to show proof that it is. Everything that I've seen that has come with that is American made does have USA stamped on it, just like the Tapco trigger group. And see, I don't know if that's going to show up or not, but you can see right there it's got USA, Tapco USA. Everything that they produce has got USA on it. Even the floor plate. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if that's going to show up, but even the floor plate has Tapco USA on it. And that's just all it's doing is protecting you guys. So make sure that you're in compliance, and don't fall out of compliance. Understand that if this gun comes with an American-made pistol grip, and it's let's say that it's got an American-made pistol grip, and you replace it with a Yugoslavian pistol grip, make sure that you still have the right number of components in it. It's real easy to get mixed up on this. Well, folks, I hope that clears a few things up when it comes to 922R compliance. I'm going to annotate Tapco so that you guys know how to get in touch with them. Ironwood Designs is another one that I'm going to give you an annotation on. And also, there's a company called KVAR. KVAR is actually a subsidiary of Arsenal Arms, and they're really, really good products. But guys, just stay in compliance. You're only protecting your own butts here. Thank you for watching. Hope this was a little more informative. Hope it was helpful. Thank you.